Hello everyone. This is your Screencast-O-Matic. I am using Screencast-O-Matic to record this short little lesson about pronouns and possession. The poll had us tied between something science and something English, so I went with a grammar lesson. I unilaterally decided that this is the way we would go because it is a topic I already know something about. So today I'm going to give you a quick little lesson on possession, and then in class we are going to be practicing this. So you're going to watch this video, and in class I'm going to give you a little handout. We're going to work on it, we're going to review it, and you'll get an idea of what is intended with the flipped classroom. Apostrophes. Apostrophes are intended to do two things. The first things apostrophe can show you is when you have a contraction, when you have two words that have been contracted to make one word. Now, the issue with contractions, particularly in an academic setting like in college or university, is that contractions are considered informal language. And we don't want to use informal language in a formal academic paper. Most of what you're writing here at college is formal. Unless you are asked to write something personal, you are writing formal language always. So, when you are editing your papers, because I know you all edit your papers, you are going to take out the contractions, but you need to leave the apostrophes that show possession. So when you read through your papers, you are looking at your apostrophes, you are making a choice between whether this is a contraction, which you need to take out, or an apostrophe that you absolutely need to show possession. I find a lot of students just go through and they take out all the apostrophes, and you can't really do that. You have to leave some in there. So we know we need an apostrophe when you have belonging. The cat belongs to the girl's cat. The apostrophe always goes there next to the S. The monkey possesses the banana. The monkey's banana. Always possession. Usually, you can check to make sure that you need to make a possessive by turning the phrase around and making it an of the. So there you are at home, you're editing your own paper, and you're trying to make a choice, right? You're like, oh, is this possessive? Is this possessive? Well, you know it's possessive if you can turn this around. The boy's hat, the hat of the boy. If you can say the hat of the boy, you know you need an apostrophe right before that S. And the same goes when you have plural possessives. 3 days journey, journey of 3 days. I still do this with plural possessives because I confuse myself, right? A lot of these rules are not rules that everybody remembers all the time. So you have to take care. Journey of 3 days. I know I need an apostrophe after the S in that case. And we'll take a look at the rules here. We'll take a look. Now, before we take a look at those rules, let's remember its. Now, people get confused with its as well. In this sentence here at the bottom of the screen, the song is revered for its jazz-like quality. Which its are we using? Are we using apostrophe S or are we using ITS? Take a moment to think of that. Once you've made a choice, make your choice. Have you made your choice? All right, here we go. The exception to the apostrophe for possession is with its. Whenever you have apostrophe S with its, it is always a contraction. Always, always, always. Whenever you have IT apostrophe S, it's always a contraction, meaning it is. ITS shows possession. So if you're going through your paper and you're wondering how to check this, you got to read that its And if you have an apostrophe there and you read it, it is, and that sounds really stupid, then you need to take that apostrophe out. All right, possession. Let's look at some examples here. You're always going to add apostrophe s to the singular form of the word, even if it ends in s. Mostly this is a how we say it thing. So the owner's car, singular form, James's hat. I don't normally go James's hat. I say James's hat. James's hat. You can write it out with just the apostrophe at the end if you know you're not going to be saying it out loud. But typically, the apostrophe s is fine, right? If you have proper nouns that are possessive, that end in s, that's when you want to, for definitely, when you have all these s's at the end, you definitely want to drop it. But typically you can keep, I usually keep the apostrophe s, but if you have already learned to drop it, then that's fine. The Eggleses presentation was good. If the Eggleses are a husband and wife consultants team and you've already pluralized it, you don't want to go the Eggleses. You don't need another s at the end. It's s'd out. Plural possession. Always adding an apostrophe s. The children's game. The geese is honking. Again, like singular that end in s, the plural that end in s get dropped. With the singular, it's optional. With the plural, it's not. Add apostrophe to the end of plural nouns that end in s. The 2 cats' toys, 3 friends' letters, the country's laws. And of course, this usually is where people get the most confused. They'll be sitting there writing and they're like, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. Is usually how this goes. But I would advise you, just take a look at your rules. Open up this little video. Take a look at your little grammar book. Most people have that little grammar book that English instructors want you to buy at the beginning of the year. And just look up possession. Just look up Possession, and you will find something. And it will show you when you need to do this. Now, the test, again, is those of the toys of the 2 cats, the letters of 3 friends, the laws of the countries. I can make of the statements out of all of these, so I know I need an apostrophe. What do I need an apostrophe on? I need an apostrophe on the person or the thing, right? Not on, I need on the thing that it belongs to, right? So you have your 2 cats. The toys belong to the cats. The apostrophe goes on cats. You have 3 friends' letters. You have the letters, they belong to the friends, then you put the apostrophe on the friends. You have the laws, you have the countries, the laws belong to the countries, the apostrophe goes on the countries. Add apostrophe s to the end of compound words. Now, these are higher level grammar questions that even copy editors at magazines get wrong. I just found a few of these in magazines. I'm like, oh. You often see my brothers-in-law's money. I'm like, if you have multiple brothers-in-laws, that might work. But if you just have one brother-in-law and it's his money, then you're hyphenating, right? You have brother-in-law, it's hyphenated. You only put it at the end. You don't need to put any s's there in the middle. When you have 2 people that own one thing, you only put the apostrophe s on the second person's name. Todd and Ann's apartment. The apartment belongs to Todd and Ann. If you were to put an apostrophe s on Todd's, if you said Todd's and Ann's apartment, you might cause confusion in the person reading that sentence. The person who knows Todd and Anne might think, oh, gee, does Todd have his own apartment? Is there a word missing here? Has a mistake been made? Because it says Todd's and Anne's apartment. Is there an S missing from apartments? Did Todd and Anne get a divorce and now they're living in 2 separate apartments? Or do they have one? So in order to prevent confusion, you only put the apostrophe S on the second person. So we know that Todd and Anne are still in one apartment. There's been no divorce. All is happy in Todd and Anne's singular apartment. Be very, very, very careful. Apostrophes are not used around things for emphasis. Some people will use quotation marks for emphasis. That's wrong too. We never use apostrophes and quotation marks for any kinds of emphases. It is sometimes used with dates, but no always. I just went Scottish there, apparently. Not. There's a T missing from that. It is sometimes used with dates, but not always. Right? It is okay for letters and numbers to sit beside each other. It won't make them uncomfortable. A lot of people will use the apostrophe to separate numbers and dates. Numbers and letters, sorry. So they'll have, 1900s, 1900 apostrophe S. But we don't need that apostrophe S. Whenever you are in doubt, take a look at things on the internet. They have lots of really cool little printables, which we'll talk about. And we'll also talk about these rules in class. We will talk about these rules in class. I know I covered them quite quickly. The free version of Screencast-O-Matic only allows me to record 15 minutes. Hence, I am trying to get in under the wire. So we will talk about apostrophes and how not to misuse them in class. So I hope this has been brief and educational and reminded you of a few things. We'll talk about the flipped classroom this week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.